Welcome to the Words to Empower podcast, featuring Bishop Frank Stewart, pastor of the Acts Ministry in Conway and North Little Rock. And now, Pastor Stewart.
Abraham, he took care of that stuff before he died and sent everything away and dealt with it and put Isaac in a position to succeed. That's why David took care of that stuff. He took care of it too. David killed anything that he thought was going to give Solomon some problems, he dealt with it. He dealt with it. See, the parents dealt with it, so the children have. We fighting demons that daddy should have dealt with, and familiar spirits that should have been taken out. Shouldn't even be in our DNA. Oh, you're going to have to come on Wednesday. We're going to talk about familiar spirits. Because what you're wrestling with is more in DNA. It's familiar spirits. Watch this. Watch this. So Manasseh didn't do it. And it says here they didn't totally conquer them. Verse 29:8. You got me? Look at it. Neither did Ephraim drive out the Canaanite that dwelled in Gezer. You see that? Ephraim didn't do it. Verse 38, the men of Zebulun did not drive out, did not conquer. And they didn't. Then you get to verse 31, the men of Asher didn't conquer. They look like everything just pushed them around. That's 31. 33:8. I just want you to get this. God said they can have it, but look what happened. The men of Naphtali did not conquer the people living in Beth Shemesh. Verse 34. Now this makes you sick. God said you can have it, and life says you can't have it. Or the devil say you can't have it. Or the world say you can't have it. Or your flesh say you can't have it. It says, now when I watch this, and this sums it up. God said you can have it, but look at all these tribes. Verse 34 says this, and the Amorites forced the children of Dan, that's part of Israel, tribe of Israel, into the mountain, for they would not permit them. I'm going to have to get permission from the devil to inherit what my daddy gave me? The devil is a liar. God sets my boundaries, and the devil said, no. I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to redeed this thing. I'm going to tell you what you can have. You better tell the devil, if I don't get it, my children going to get it. Now, God says you can have it. They didn't possess it. It wasn't because God didn't say they could have it. And that's the problem. God said you can have it, but we're not possessing it. You know why? We're not aggressive enough. Last week we talked about the folks, the 4 men carrying a man that was lame. They tore the roof off the house and let him down in before they tore the roof off. Look at somebody and say, I'm tired of whimpering. I'm tired of being a punk. I'm tired of the devil punking me. I'm tired of life punking me. Joshua chapter 17, verse 14 through 18. Aggressive. God said, now see, you got to know it's God's will. The Bible says this is the confidence that we have in him, that if we ask anything according to his will. So I got to spend time in the word of God understanding his will. Because if I don't understand his will, I'm going to be hesitant. I'm not going to be in full force because I really don't know if this is what God wants me to have. I'm going on a doubt. But when I know he said you can have that. David said, shall I pursue? He said, should I go after it? Come on, somebody. David asked God. Now they done stole all my stuff. They got all my stuff. And David said to God, shall I pursue? And you know what God said to David? You said, yeah, God says, without fail, you're going to recover everything. And he just didn't get his stuff. He got all other stuff. Because if a thief be caught, he's got to give up 7 times more. But in my words, in the language of the country folks, you know what God said? You know what he said, Deacon Man? You know, God said, sick him. Get him. David went and got it. He got so much stuff that he was able to share with all of the tribe. He was sending gifts. I gotta teach. When he got it, there was people with him that said, let's keep it all for ourselves and let's not give anybody anything. And David said no. See, that's why God can't bless everybody. Some of y'all done been blessed and nobody know about it. It never gets on your tithing envelope. Never gets in the offering. But you've been blessed and nobody know about it. Come on, hit that thing every now and then, you know. Joshua chapter 17. New King James Version, 17, 14 through 18. I just set it up. Now, this is what I want to talk about. I want you to hear me. I want you to hear me. See, when you understand some stuff like I understand, I'm not supposed to be here. I saw so many specialists when I was a child. I'm not supposed to be here. But you got to get in your mind, if I'm going to die, I'm going to die fighting. I might not lose, but you're going to know you're in a fight. You might knock me down and you might be getting the best licks, but every now and then I'm going to scratch you. I'm going to bite you. I'm going to let you know you're in a fight. I'm going to do something. And when you fighting, it's a fight to the finish. When you're fighting, you got to hit everything you got. You got to go for the private. There was a little bit of guy in our neighborhood growing up. There was a little bit of guy in the neighborhood growing up, and it was about 15 of us. And before y'all even created gangs, when little kids, that's what we really had. But it was about 15, you know, and you know what? Nobody wanted to fight him. Nobody wanted to fight him. Everybody could beat him, but nobody wanted to fight him, because if you fight him, you're going to get hurt. Someone just let the devil dictate to us the way we're going to live life. And he'll dictate that through your addictions. He'll dictate through your DNA. He'll dictate how you're going to live. He's a liar. Now, you got to come next week, because I'm connecting all this together. And one of the things, you got to separate yourself from people that's just you got to separate yourself from crazy saints, negative saints. Okay. Joshua chapter 17, verse number 14. One thing you ought to be delivered from is the opinions of people. I know what he said to me. I know what he said. I know what God said. Are y'all listening to me? Joshua chapter 17, verse 14. Now, this is one of the reasons why they didn't possess it. Good example right here. This is what I was trying to get to. Then the children of Joseph, that's Ephraim and Manasseh. Those were some of the largest tribes. Then the children of Joseph spoke to Joshua, saying, why have you given us only one lot? Why have you given us just this small amount and one share to inherit? Since we are a great people, inasmuch as the Lord has blessed us until now. See, they're complaining because they said, Joshua, you didn't give us enough land. Look what Joshua said. So Joshua answered them, if you are a great people, then go up to the forest country and clear a place for yourself there in the land of the Perizzites and the giant, since the mountains of Ephraim are too confined. He said, you say you great? Go get it. Well, watch this. Now, you're dealing with special people here. You're dealing with two types of special people. You're dealing with people that greatness is in all of us. Look at somebody that says greatness in you. Now, don't be looking at me. I'm talking about what God said. It's greatness in you. You might cover it up being weak. You might cover it up procrastinating. You might cover it up not pursuing, but there is greatness. It has nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with whatever God puts his hands on. It becomes great. And when God formed you, he says, good and very good. That's greatness. But it takes a special person to pull greatness out of you. Why you say it takes a special person? Well, it takes a special person to pull greatness out of you without you pulling the worst out of them. Yeah. Greatness. Because when you're pulling greatness out of people, you can expect strange looks. You can expect criticism. You can expect being talked about and backbited. And you expect all that when you're trying to pull greatness out. So you're not concerned about opinions of people. God says there's greatness. See, you're like a silver mine. And when you're going for the silver, you got a whole lot of dirt and junk you got to get past. Got to have special gear on. Yeah, I'm all geared up. You got to be geared up because while you're trying to pull the greatness out of them, they may pull a little something out of you. Oh, y'all don't want to help me with that. There's greatness. And Joshua's not, you saying you so great? Stop complaining. Stop talking about you should have a better job. He says, stop talking about it. Go get it. Since God says, I have given you the ability to make wealth. Y'all getting quiet now. And he said, you ain't got no business working 3 jobs like a dog. I told you that you're not supposed to live by the sweat of your brow. You ain't got time for the kids. You ain't got time for the wife, for the husband. You ain't got any time. When was the last time you cooked a good meal? When was the last time you didn't use the microwave? When was the last time? And I ain't just talking about women either. I ain't just talking about the wife either. God said that was never my will. That was never my will for you to mortgage the kids, to mortgage the kids' future to get ahead. See, you're getting quiet now. Y'all, God said that wasn't my will. I like what y'all. He said, yeah, you great. If you're great, get on up there and take it. Clear some space. Woo! Wow. I'm getting ready to clear some space. Not just for yourself, but for other people. Watch this, watch this. Watch the dialogue. And this is why we're not aggressive, because we want people to pull it out of us. Just hang around us long enough, we'll snatch it out of you. We'll snatch every inch of player out of you and help you to understand that you are a man. Hang around us, we'll snatch it. We'll snatch every drop of rebellion and every drop of arrogance with your non-submissive self. I lost y'all. Y'all, what happened? What happened? What happened? What happened? Y'all was doing pretty good there for a second. Y'all, what? Huh? Yeah. God never made you the head. He made the man the head. You like that, don't you? You like that, don't you? You got problems. You know you got problems. Yeah. But can you be around somebody? Can you shape being molded? Can you handle that? Can you handle the hands of a father? Or will you rebel? Will you push away? He said, yeah, you say you're great. Get on up there and get it. Now watch this. Watch the wisdom. Watch the wisdom. Verse 16. But the children of Joseph said, the mountain country is not enough for us. And all the Canaanites who dwell in the land of the valley have chariots of iron. See, this is the same excuse they used in Judges. Who created iron? I don't care what it looked like, how hard it looks like. I don't care what the wall, how thick the wall is. If God said it, you don't have to deal with the wall, just march around it. Israel didn't have to plow through the wall, march around it 7 times. Some stuff, he said, I don't even want you to destroy it. I want you to live in it. They really built that for you. Oh, wow. Y'all can't handle that, can you? That was really your house that God had them to build. That was really your practice that you gonna walk into stuff he said you didn't have to work for. That's living not by the sweat of your brow. You just walk into it. And while you're walking into it, I don't deserve it. You're not supposed to deserve it. Don't you realize that? You should have settled that a long time ago. You don't deserve it. But he said I could have it. He said I could have it. They said it's not enough. How many right now? You're living in a place and you're saying, this is not enough. Now this is only for dreamers and people with visions. Because if you're not a dreamer, if you don't have a vision, then if you just got enough for you to move around in, for some people that's enough. A boot and a shoe for some folks is enough. But my daddy said he owns the cattle on 1,000 Hill. And every now and then, I should be able to eat steak instead of just hamburger. You mean he got all this and I can't? Oh no, that ain't gonna happen. That ain't gonna happen. That ain't gonna happen. Watch this, watch this. Now watch this. I love what he says. They say it's not enough. Living with not enough. See, let's get honest. I mean, what is enough? Enough is when I can finance the vision that God said go get.
For mobile giving, text the amount you wish to donate to 501-302-4242.
The Acts Church in North Little Rock is located at 1224 Franklin Street. For more information, go to actsministriesonline.org or give us a call at 501-329-2055.
Thank you for tuning in to the Acts Ministry Podcast. The Acts Church is located at 1423 Ingram Street in Conway and 1224 Franklin Street in North Little Rock, Arkansas. Tune in each day to hear an inspiring word from Pastor Frank Stewart.
We want to welcome everyone back to Acts Ministries. We will be re-entering our sanctuary at both locations, both in Conway and in North Little Rock. In Conway, our service will begin at 12 noon. We want you to know that the doors will open 30 minutes before each service, but we're asking you to be there prior to then so that you can go through the drive-through with the health professionals so that they can take everyone's temperature in the car to clear you to come into the building for service. We want you to know that Acts Ministries, above all, first and foremost, we want your safety and health to be our utmost and top priority. So we're taking precautionary measures to make sure that we do everything within our power to make sure you are safe. So we want you to know that coming back to Acts Ministries, coming back to the house of God will be a safe and not only safe, but a friendly environment for everyone. So when you come back to the house of God, please don't forget your mask. You can smile behind the mask and wave and say hello. We have a a no 4-HKT in process. What is a 4-HKT? What is a no 4-HKT? That means no hugs, no high fives, no hand holding and no handshakes, no kisses and no touching. So we want to social distance ourselves 6 feet apart from as many people as possible. We have put decals on the floor to help you to social distance from other people. We have signage up to help you, to remind you about your mask and to remind you about social distancing. We have proper protocol for hand washing placed in the restrooms, along with some other measures that we've taken. And so if you have questions, comments, or concerns, you can always send those to wtebroadcast@gmail.com. And we are keeping many on the prayer list. Those of you who have pre-existing conditions, those of you who may not meet the criteria and you've taken the ACTS Reentry Attendance Self-Assessment form, you've taken that and you realize that you can't come back, but you've already signed up to come back, please call the office and let them know that you have signed up, but you won't be able to come, so that they can fill your seat, since you will no longer be able to come. So we want you to know, even though if you're not able to come back in our phase 1, you will probably be able to come back in phase 2. So don't lose heart. We are live streaming. You will be able to see everything on Facebook, on YouTube, and on ACTS TV. Just know that we will still be streaming. We'll still be reaching out to the masses, to the multitudes. And until that time, we look forward to seeing you back in the house of God. Welcome back, ACTS.